Hey yo, what we're saying? It's your boy AJ, and we are back again for another tier list. And this time we're going to be going over main series Pokemon games. So, pretty much every mainline game. There's no spin-off games, so there's no Colosseum, no XD, any of that sort of stuff. But just the main series games as a whole. So before we get into this, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's just hop in and let's just go over everything. So we have pretty much, it's just a substandard from S to D. And then we have a never played tier, which there's only 3 or 4 games, or actually 3 games on here I think that I've never played. So quick disclaimer as well, if, let's say for example, if Ruby goes in A, Sapphire is going to go in A. They're pretty much the same game, but just, you know, a slight bit of difference. I'm not gonna put a game higher just because, oh, this one's got Zangoose, but this one has a Viper. No, that's not how this works. So, without further ado, let's kick things off with we'll just go in order. So the Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire games. Now these games for me actually were probably some of the best games, I would say, of the series. I wouldn't say they were actually game breaking, changing, but to me, I think they definitely saved Generation 6 from being inadequate, question mark. Yeah, these 2 games introduced a plethora of new features. The soaring feature to me was amazing. That's pretty much what saved Generation 6, soaring. Game Freak, you know what to do. Black 2 and White 2, if I can find White 2 over here somewhere. Where is White 2? I'll find it. So yeah, Black 2 and White 2. I do like these games. I do. I would definitely say better than Black and White. There's a lot more. Like, Black and White to me felt pretty linear in a sense. There's nothing wrong with a game being linear sometimes, but if it's too linear, it can kind of disrupt the way the game plays. But Black 2 and White 2 to me added a bunch of stuff that Black and White missed out on. So for example, an enhanced version of the story, there was a bit more freedom, question mark maybe? I don't know. But speaking of the original Black and White, they're gonna sit down here. Like I said, when they first came out, I think I got Pokemon White when it first came out, and while I wasn't like unimpressed with these games, but there was definitely something about them that, you know, just kind of doesn't really stick with me. The story is what saves this game. The story for Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 completely saved these games. If it wasn't for the story, if the story was, you know, like, spoilers, X and Y story, yeah, it wouldn't be as good. The Japanese, these are the, spoiler alert, these are the only ones that are going to go in here, are the Japanese versions of Red, Blue and Green. I've personally never played the Japanese versions. Again, I don't see why. I don't see how I can, if I'm being honest, unless there's like a ROM online or something like that. The original Blue and Red, I'm actually going to put them here, you know. This might be a bit controversial, maybe, but Gen 1 was broken. Like, I know people cling to the nostalgia of Generation 1, but to me, the nostalgia alone doesn't cover the fact of how broken these games were and just how easy. It was easy to do because you could literally cheese the game by getting, like, for me, I remember getting Pokemon Blue on Virtual Console and I just got a Persian that knew Slash and critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical hit. That's not fun. Come on. Speaking of Pokemon Yellow, by the way, Pokemon Yellow is actually going to go up. They fixed many problems that Red and Blue had. Many. I didn't say all, but many. So some Pokemon not knowing certain moves. Pokemon exclusivity was fixed somewhat in Pokemon Yellow. Oh, here we go. Crystal. Now, Crystal and Golden. Actually, no. Crystal's going to chill in S. But Gold and Silver are going to chill just below it. Where's the original Silver? There it is. Yeah, so Gold and Silver, after playing them again, I do realise how limited the games are. Especially, right, why did Game Freak decide to have Pokemon like Growlithe, Vulpix, Weeping Bell? Many of these Pokemon, Eevee for crying out loud, many of these Pokemon available like during the main game, but then make the evolution stones post game. Why? Just why? Crystal solved that issue with the Pokegear, and you could. There was 4 trainers, I think, or 3 or 4 trainers throughout the region that actually rang you up and gave you the stones. That for me doesn't push Crystal up into S over Gold and Silver. There was also the factor that there was a bit more fleshed out than Gold and Silver were. Plus also this introduced the moving sprites, and then they kind of got rid of it in Ruby and Sapphire. But I don't know, it is what it is. Diamond and Pearl. The original Diamond and Pearl are going to chill up in A tier. While these games, I do love Sinnoh. Sinnoh is my favourite generation. Gen 4 remakes incoming. But Diamond and Pearl, I can see why people would say it's slow. It's, I wouldn't say confusing, but I can see why people would say the progression of the game is a little bit slower than most main series games. Pokemon Emerald is going to chill up in S. Growing up, Emerald was pretty much my favourite game up until another one came out for the DS. But Emerald was, again, you're going to see a trend here. So the definitive editions of the games obviously are definitive editions. They are enhanced editions. They are enhanced and definitive for a reason, pretty much. So yeah, Emerald is better than Ruby and Sapphire. Crystal is better than Gold and Silver. It is what it is. Fire Red and Leaf Green. I don't mind Fire Red and Leaf Green. I do think I wouldn't say they fixed any problems that Ruby and Sapphire had. Ruby and Sapphire to me actually didn't have that many problems. Like, I'm trying to think, there's not many problems that Ruby and Sapphire had that Fire and Leaf Green didn't have, or fixed, or improved upon. Obviously, Kanto is overdone. We all know that. So, I don't know. The thing that pushes them up here rather than having them like down here with the original Red and Blue, they got a bit more of the story element to it. So with the Selly Islands, that's a nice little touch. It's a lot easier to grind on these games as well, so it's not as tedious as, you know, the original Red and Blue. You were training for the Elite Four, training for the champion. You needed to be like level 55, level 60 maybe, and you know, by the last gym, the Pokemon are like level 45. So you need to get 10, 15 levels from Victory Road, and that sometimes can be a little bit tedious. But these games pretty much fix that with the Versus Seeker. Same thing what Diamond and Pearl had, and honestly, I think the Versus Seeker is one of the best features that Pokemon have ever had. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are possibly, to me, if you ask me right now what the best Pokemon game is, not my favourite, but the best, I would say Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Took what Gold and Silver had in terms of the enhanced Kanto region, the extended post game, and made it something even more special. Let's just say as well, these games were the first ones to have your Pokemon follow you, and that is a feature that has been cried out for many, many, many times. But yeah, number one game for me right now in terms of like the definitive best Pokemon game, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's go Eevee and let's go Pikachu. I like them. I like them. I have only played it once, but I see where they were going with these. They were kind of trying to lure in the fans from Pokemon Go and use those sort of mechanics in the main series games. I wouldn't call it a main series game. I'd call it more so a bridge game. So it kind of bridged the gap from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon into Sword and Shield. But I see where they were going with this one. I personally, I won't say I'm not a fan of it, but while I personally think, you know, I enjoyed a bit more of a challenge aspect to the games, they were fun for what they were, and you pretty much could just run the game with Eevee and Pikachu and not have any issues. But that's that. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Yeah, these are gonna. Yeah, actually, we'll drop them down. Sun and Moon just didn't really click with me. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were a bit better, but Sun and Moon didn't really click. Again, felt pretty linear. The fact that out of the 4 main islands, the first one of them is taken up by a giant tutorial, pretty much, and you know, you don't really get much freedom into the game until like an hour into a playthrough. Like, just let me explore. Come on. Platinum. So yeah, Platinum is going in S. Platinum is probably my favourites. Like I said, Heart Gold, Soul Silver being the best, the definitive best. Platinum is probably my favourite Pokemon game, and probably a lot of other people's as well. Let me know, by the way, down below, if you do watch this, let me know what your favourite Pokemon game is out of all these. I'm pretty sure a number of people's favourite Pokemon game is Platinum. Heart Gold, Soul Silver is a close second, don't get me wrong, but Platinum to me is what Gen 4, what Diamond and Pearl tried to be, what Diamond and Pearl should have been, and honestly, what like some stuff we could see from the upcoming, quote unquote, upcoming Diamond and Pearl remakes. So yeah, Platinum can chill right there. Ruby and Sapphire, they can chill next to their Gen 3 remake counterparts of Fire Red and Leaf Green. While I did enjoy Ruby and Sapphire, don't get me wrong, Ruby was actually, fun fact, I think I went over this in one of my other videos, but Crystal was my very first Pokemon game in general. I can remember getting a Game Boy Color with Crystal for, I think it was for Christmas one year, I can't remember. But Ruby was the very first Pokemon game I fully got into as a kid, Trico being my starter. And while I did enjoy Ruby Sapphire, and while I would go back and play Ruby Sapphire again and encounter no problems, I would much rather play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and that's pretty obvious. And there's probably only a couple of games that I would say I'd rather go back and play the original, and yeah, like, I don't know, Ruby Sapphire were good, don't get me wrong, but Emerald's a lot better. Sword and Shield. While I have had a lot of fun playing Sword and Shield over the last year or so when they've been out, I don't know. To me, while some of the stuff they introduced was pretty good, so the wild area, like, that gets a thumbs up from me. That the wild area is what we need in Pokemon, like free roaming, full, massively open Breath of the Wild style areas. Sword and Shield as a game just didn't, I don't know, didn't bang as much as I hoped they would have. Hopefully the upcoming games can save Generation 8, quote unquote, more so like these two save Generation 6. But yeah, I've had fun with Sword and Shield. The DLC is, while it's pretty short, I would say, it's good. I would definitely say wait until, you know, there's some sort of discount on the game with the DLC to get it if you haven't yet. But yeah, I do enjoy Sword and Shield. They are to me, they are pretty good. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they are better than the original Sun and Moon. They still feel at times like a bit of a hand-holding exercise at times, but you do have the whole Ultra Necrozma thing going on here. So yeah, if any of you guys remember that Ultra Necrozma battle, that was the first time pretty much since Platinum, I think, that we've had like some sort of really challenging battle, or even a challenge in a Pokemon game in general. Like they kicked it out of the park with that Ultra Necrozma battle, but the rest of the game, I don't know. The story of Sun and Moon doesn't really grab me as much as other games do. And then to finish it off, we have Pokemon X and Y. And again, while I do enjoy X and Y, and I have done many playthroughs of X and Y, there are some problems with it. There are, you know, the story elements aren't as gripping. There are some continuity problems. Yeah, the fact that you get Mega like 3 gyms in kind of ruins it a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to like step on anyone's thing there, but yeah, X and Y, yeah, didn't really click as well as they could do. Most, like, when you look at this, like, with face value, this tier list, literally you can see the base games don't really hit as hard, but then the definitive editions or the remakes of that generation hit even harder. But I suppose they do get to work on the kinks of the games before it and then kind of improve on it. I do get that, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Let me know what you guys think of this, if there's anything you would change personally. Like I say, I'm all open to opinions. Like I say, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.